Good morning and welcome to Shamanic Sundays. Hi, Dad.
Hey, good morning to you and everyone.
Good morning, relatives out there. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are always so grateful and so honored to share this time with you and making sure my cell phone is off. So, yeah, big power going on around the world right now. And let's start with some gratitude. Dad, you want to drop in there and do a little morning prayer?
Con mucho gusto, with pleasure. Pleasure at being alive, and sensitivity and compassion and love for those recently losing their lives in the fires down south. We remember you here. Blessings on your lives, your journey home to spirit, and the people who've lost your homes and everything in it. Strength to you. Help you keep going through these dark and challenging times. Thank you, Creator, for the gifts of protection and the prayers for protection for the firefighters, the brave men and women fighting the fires. Protect them and bring forth healing of the wounds. And thank you for our families, our communities, our loved ones, our friends. Thank you for the ancestor spirits of our lines and the land we live on. Gratitude to the Chumash ancestor spirits and people of this land I'm living on, and sacred power that comes to us from above and below and from each of the sacred directions, and the sacred power in the center in which we're all joined and connected on the deepest level of our being. Thank you for this breath of life. Thank you for this day that we get to experience a human incarnation and whatever the challenges might be in our own lives and our bodies, our minds, or spirits, and in the world. Kansuwa Yuta, with your help, great wisdom, power of the universe, present always in everyone and everything, everywhere, all the time, always seeking to work for the greatest good. And it's not guaranteed, and that's why you give us our lives so we can show up to the challenges and do our part to help open the doorway, bring through fullest blossoming, greatest good, using the challenges and what they trigger to help us grow and be channels for helping to heal the sacred hoop. May it be so. Oh.
Thank you. May it be so. Oh gosh. Yeah, I just found out this morning actually that another friend lost their home as well in the fires, in that Palisades fire, and a couple relatives in Pasadena fires, actually, and a couple others in Palisades fire. So it is definitely real, and no joke, no words really. I like, yeah, I just, my heart is just breaks for the pain and suffering that everyone is going through, and so it felt like a good thing to talk about today, both to support anyone who is directly being impacted by the fires, but also because we all on different levels at different times deal with grief and loss, and so we yeah, this just felt like an important thing to address today. So I guess the first thing that comes up is just like some offering of tools that you can share from shamanic traditions, that when you're in just literally in the fire of the pain of traumatic loss and grief, whatever form that may take, like literally in the moment, what are some tools that can be helpful to people?
Yeah, wow. The first one that jumps into my mind, the first response to your invite is humility.
Mm.
Humility. And so then I kind of unpack that word. It's like that word appearing in my consciousness is a key. And so I let that vibrate inside of me and see what it opens. And so what it opens is when I'm going through a hard time, a really hard time, whatever the stimulus might be, and whatever my unconsciously conditioned negative reactivity might be to that stimuli, whatever it is, and it feels overwhelming. And certainly what's going on in the fires and all different kinds of fires around the world, but especially right now, most closely to us in Southern California, just a little south of where I am, is can certainly feel overwhelming. It's and the devastation and the loss and the grief and and the uncertainty, where are we going to live? All our stuff is gone. How can we go? Our papers, our insurance papers, our passports, or whatever. So devastation, and whatever that triggers for us, and it feels overwhelming. It's just, I feel knocked down and out of breath, and my gut punched. Don't know what to do except here I am in my suffering, and I don't feel like I can do anything about it. It's just too big. I'm just a little tiny droplet compared to the ocean. So the word humble opens the doorway to give ourselves permission to feel whatever it is we're feeling, whatever it is we're experiencing on a sensory level, on an emotional level, on a mental level, on a spiritual level, in a body level, whatever it is we're experiencing, giving ourselves permission to feel whatever we're feeling, and breathing in with the breath compassion, breathing in compassion and tenderness for ourselves and for all the relatives suffering. Breathing in acceptance for feeling overwhelmed, and whatever it is we're feeling. Breathing in acceptance, no judgments. Any judgments come up, I shouldn't feel that way or whatever. Breathe into it, let it go. Cleansing breath out. Pamprios, thank you for the cleansing, releasing breath out. And humble, accepting that I don't feel like I have the strength to deal with this in a positive way or a skillful way or a fruitful way. I feel inept. Give ourselves permission of those feelings. And remember, wake up. How might we use these challenging situations to help us wake up, wise up? And what does it mean to live, love, alive in 2025 as the challenges come? What does it mean to live, love, alive in 2025? Well, one of the things that helps me when I feel overwhelmed, as I mentioned, that connects with humility, is to remember I'm not my physical body. I'm responsible for taking good care of it, loving it, appreciating it. But I'm not my physical body, and I'm not my thoughts or my feelings or the stories that are stimulated by the events that are happening. I'm way, way more. I'm way, way more, and I have access to infinite, divine, creative wisdom, power, strength, energy of the universe, infinite light, infinite love, infinite peace, access to infinite creativity on the deeper levels of my being. So remembering, using the situations that push our buttons. These are opportunities, vehicles, what I call vehicles of opportunity to wake up and remember I'm more than my reactions to this. I'm more than my identity, limiting the truth and essence of who I am to an ego identity. I'm way more, way more. So just opening, just noticing as you experience your own intake of breath, life force, kupuri, energy, chi flowing in with the breath. Taking in the softness, but yet the power of that breath, because it's life force energy that we didn't create. The creative wisdom powers of the universe create this breath of life, whatever you want to call it. The truth is, we did not create this breath. We're being breathed by a power that knows how to create the breath. You and I don't know how to create the breath. Creative power of the universe knows how to create the breath. And it flows it into us. And it's full of light. It's full of love. It's full of peace. It's full of strength. It's full of faith, hope, and trust, and tenderness, and compassion, and generosity, and courage, and beauty, all flowing into us with the breath. Open to receive it. Open. Open your body. Open your heart. Open your mind. Open your shoulders and your back and your chest and your heart and your dantian, your solar plexus, and down through your hips and all through your entire body. Open. And let that gift of life, that wave of life force energy flow through you unobstructed. And if you notice any obstructions of fear, or judgment, or shame, or negativity, or thought forms of limitation about what's possible, if you notice any of those energetic places of stuck, constricted energy in the energy field that is your body being, breathe into those places and just gently untie the knot of constriction. Just gently, see as if it's all ropes all tied together in a big knot. Just gently as you flow that life force, flow power into those places of constriction, of tightness, and that produce inflammation. Breathing into those places, them gently opening. Why? Because they're receiving love right now. They don't have to tighten and constrict to protect. Open to receive the love. Open, receive love's healing flow, going where it needs to go, through us, out to each other, into the field, and into those brave fighter women and men, and the people who've lost homes and everything. Flowing that healing light and love and strength out to those ones, our relatives, supporting them, giving them strength in whatever it is they have to deal with or going through. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Breathing in and breathing out. And noticing as you experience in your own rhythm and your own sensory wisdom being breathed in, that life power moving through us, activating the wisdom inside of us that knows how to heal, that knows how to restore harmony and balance, that knows how to connect, deep grounding from center, connection with the essence of our being, underneath all the storms on the surface, the waves and winds and currents on the surface, dropping down into that place of center, grounding roots down into Mother Earth. Gratitude for Mother Earth, for Mother Ocean. Gratitude for what the Huichols call Tekutsin Nakaway, great grandmother growth, sending her growth power, her strength up from Mother Earth, from her womb, her body, through the bottoms of our feet and rising up through our calves and our thighs and our hips and our hara, and up through and opening all the chakras of our bodies into the upper world, Tatema, and connecting with the powers that come to us from above and below and from each of the sacred four directions. And here we are at the very center of it all, connected to all. Here, not at this time by accident. Each of us here with purpose. Each of us here as sacred beings. Whatever the shape or age or size or color or skin of our bodies or expression of sexuality, whatever, we're all human beings. We're all part of the sun, starlight ohana. All of our bodies are made of stardust. We are all fueled by stardust. Polishing up our stardust with each breath that comes in of fresh, clean, new energy, and releasing whatever needs to go that doesn't serve us now, so that we can honor the purpose Spirit gives us in being in this life, in these times, to be channels for healing, light, and love out to all our relations, sending healing, light, and love, and strength, and support out to all our relations, with the prayer for healing of the sacred hoop, and listening with the sensitivity of our awareness to the guidance that comes through about how Spirit wants to use each and every one of us to help heal this sacred hoop. And thank you for this day of opportunity to listen, polish our stardust, and be the channels you give us this life for, and the angels of protection that have brought us this far. Channels for healing, light, and love. May it be so, and so it is. Oh, Omprios. Hi.
Thank you. Um, That's kind of dropping in there.
Yeah, letting all of that vibrate in you, taking the time to just let it. We don't have to rush into anything here. We can
Yeah, yeah.
be.
I found it really interesting. I was not expecting you to say, I was not expecting you to say that humility and being humbleness is like one of the keys to use right now in a time like this. Um, because I think in our sort of dominant Eurocentric culture, we would think like, you have to find your strength and power through and, like those kind of things more, right? But I love the concept of humbleness because it drops you into, that you're just one small part of this bigger power. Um, and when you're standing in humbleness, you can like open your heart and you can just open everything so much more, right? And I
Yeah.
think one of our relatives on the here with us today mentioned about, not, these weren't his exact words, but not demonizing the fire. And we were talking about that the other night, actually, in the fire ceremony that we did. Um, and I was saying how I think when there's these sort of natural, quote unquote, catastrophes, um, it's easy to fall back into sort of that, oh, the fire was bad and evil, and like we need to fight the fire, like even that word, fight the fire, as opposed to managing the fire, right? And so the humility allows you, instead of like closing up and being like, I'm going to build, more fortresses against it. It's more, again, it's just this opening up and like peeling away of the layers to be more just living love and to be open to receiving the healing that is available there. Does that make sense? Was I kind of rambling just now?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And just a couple of associations. One is, let me just listen for a minute. Well, just thinking about or reflecting on causative factors of why this fire catastrophe has taken place now. And one of them, one of the dynamics involved with that is part of the larger whole of how we have disconnected ourselves from the wisdom of nature.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
through humility, recognizing and honoring that her powers are greater than ours, and rather than trying to overpower her, let's listen and pay attention with great awareness to how she works, so that we can then try to be in harmony and balance with how we go about meeting our needs and creating our cultures and living our lives that are in harmony and balance with her powers. So her powers keep manifesting in a way of harmony and balance. So one manifestation of not doing that is in our oppression and genocide of the indigenous people of this land. They knew how to use Grandpa Fire's spirit, Kantawadi, in this Huichol language, in a way to burn away periodically, to do these carefully controlled small burnings that would burn away the brush that if it wasn't burned away periodically, when lightning struck or something that wasn't in human control and started a fire, it wouldn't be a huge raging thing because the underbrush that's so dry wasn't there. It had been burned away. And we're slowly, in some places, coming back to recognizing the wisdom of the indigenous ways of working with Tatewari in a preventative of big fire ways. So we repressed the native people, and that wisdom was oppressed and not used, and so the tinder just grew and grew and grew, and then the drought comes, and a little spark sets off a huge reaction, and then it's all in a larger frame. It's all trying to help us to wake up and remember our interconnectedness with nature and the powers of nature, and how to work respectfully with the sacred fire, so it doesn't need to kind of jump out of its home of a safe container. You envision a pile of rocks and the wood and the fire, a hole in the earth, and the log's down there with the fire, and it's controlled, and it's being done in a sacred way, and calling in the spirit of the sacred fire, Tatewari, and making a good home for Tatewari. And so when Tatewari is respected, as any power and force of nature is respected, and we pay attention to how it works, we can indeed see the lessons, get the lessons if we're humble. and humble our Eurocentric conditioning that thinks we're us two-legged because we can send people to Mars in a steel box. We're the greatest thing on earth, the greatest thing since sliced bread, as compared to the indigenous wisdom and spiritual traditions, wisdom knowing that everything's alive, everything has sacred purpose in being here, everything has consciousness, everything is communicating, and open up to listen to how to be in good relationship. What is good relationship? Harmonious relationship, respectful, humble relationship. How can we work together to keep life going in a good way? And so part of the larger message of disasters happening around the world is trying to get us to wake up. So I appreciate everybody here listening now live and who will be listening later, and the people you touch being part of this wake up process to ask that question to ourselves in the midst of the disasters and challenges. What does it mean to live love alive in 2025? Listen to the guy.
Right. And I want to just bring back that for anyone joining us just in the last few minutes, the beginning part of this episode. My dad led us through a little bit more of a visualization about when you're just in the shock and the raw pain of the loss and the grief from fire or whatever your situation may be. Because I imagine if you're sitting there right now and literally all you own at this point is the toothbrush that someone just gave you, and maybe a sweatshirt and some jeans that don't even fit you, but someone gave them to you, and that's all you own because you just lost everything, and maybe even a loved one. That it's hard to think of like, oh, what are the teachings, right? So I just want to bring some additional, just if anyone joined us late, just the sensitivity to us addressing those first kind of critical moments of the experience. And then I think eventually, hopefully being able to get to a place of what did I learn from this? What are the teachings? How can I be in healthier relationship with all the elements of nature? But just not that we would be presumptive that like in the moment of the pain, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, it's okay. There's going to be teachings. Maybe you can, maybe some of us can, but also I want to share, so a friend of my dad's and I, Elena Rios, who is a Azteca Mexicana Chumash woman that we are friends with, and she's also a firefighter and was a hotshot fire jumper and what's it called when you rappel down from the helicopters, like badass firefighting woman and artist and dancer and singer and healer and beautiful woman. And I was talking with her 2 mornings ago, and she was talking about she said on the fire lines there's a lot of cultural sharing, that fire brings people together. And I was thinking about around sacred fire, we sit in the loss of fires such as the Palisades and the Pasadena and all the fires right now in Southern California and around the world in different forms like that. Hopefully these can bring us together as we go through the process of the grieving and healing.
May it be so.
Yeah. So let's see. Anything else you want to share this morning, Dad?
Gratitude. Even in the midst of the challenges, the personal challenges and the world challenges that impact us in all the ways that they do, it is possible to find gratitude. Just for an example of that, the awareness of what you're feeling in response to the situations. Awareness of that we have, and that we're able to feel. That we have these bodies that we're living, we're able to feel and experience whatever's triggered in us by hurt, by loss. And that has the potential to bring us deeper into our, like you said, into our hearts and into compassion and into tenderness and into courage, despite what's going on, courage and faith. And let me try to just do the best I can, and opening to powers that are greater than mine, not try to do it just through that inner that ego identification. Well, I've got to be strong, no matter what strength I can pull up physically. there's a bigger strength that we can tap into, the creative power of the universe.
Yeah.
We have to try to do it on our own. We can pray for, I need strength, Great Spirit. I need hope. I need help. I need love. I need whatever it is you need. Just open to receiving it with that breath coming in from Spirit. Don't depend on just our ego resources, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Don't limit ourselves for calling in strength and wisdom guidance about how to respond to the challenges that push our buttons, so that truly we can be and honor that purpose. Spirit, the creative power of the universe, gives us life to show up in these times, honor our human responses, open up to higher power for that wisdom guidance of access to infinite creativity. How can I, each one of us hearing these words, be a part of opening a doorway, no matter what the challenge and catastrophe, to bring through some good medicine, some healing medicine that contributes to healing of the causative factors of the suffering, and that bring relief to those suffering. How can I do something? And the truth is, all of us make a difference. We can all do something. Listen to your guidance. Respect the wisdom guidance inside of you that comes from Spirit, for listening about how you can create a response to these challenges that truly serve fullest blossoming, greatest good. May it be so. All right.
May it be so. Thank you. Thank you all again for being here. We appreciate all your comments too, and just about trusting and staying in gratitude, and just all of us trying to be the light as much as we can. So, yeah. Right.
Hey,
Well,
here's a closing prayer. I've got it written on my computer from the Chiricahua Apache people. It says, "May the sun bring you renewed energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries." Prayers for bringing the rain to help douse the fires. "May the breeze blow new strength into your being, and may the breeze and the winds of the Santa Ana calm and calm and calm. And may you walk gently through the world and know its beauty all the days of your life."
Thank you. Have a good week, everyone. Again, remember to pre-order Tom's book. Some of them have started. Some of the copies have started arriving in people's in mailboxes. Hard copies arriving in people's mailboxes. Send us pictures of you with the book. If you're on social media, you can write notes and tag Dr. Tom Pinkson on Instagram and Facebook and all that jazz. And if you feel like writing a review once you have read the book on Amazon, that would be awesome too. So I got to give you those shout outs, and congratulations on birthing that book, Pops. Very cool. So I hope you'll all be able to read it at some point soon. All right. Thanks again. Remember to send us questions if you have anything in advance, and we'll be keeping you in our hearts and sending love to everyone throughout the week.
Bye con
All right.
Dios.
Take care.